The question I get asked the most is, how do you make money in the stock market? And that answer is very simple. You just buy good quality stocks. But then that leads into another question, which is, well, what are the best quality stocks to buy right now? And that I have an answer for you. So today I am going to give you the best quality stocks under $100. And I'm also going to tell you why $100 is such a good number to shoot for. Let's go ahead and break it down. So, $100. Now, I've mentioned this before, but we get new viewers all the time. $100 is a good metric to shoot for when you are looking for a stock. That is because you can do something called covered calls. It is a good starter investing strategy that you can use to make extra money on top of investing in a good stock. I will talk a little bit about that on the back end of the video, so you absolutely want to stay tuned for that. Also, as we are going through this list, I'm going to just tell you now, fair warning, a lot of these stocks are going to make you feel like a genius, okay? I've already gotten comments from people who listened to the last video that we did on this topic who have said that some of these stocks have already made them money, okay? I'm just telling you, okay? So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. Bottom to me, you know, I'm just starting at the bottom of my list and working my way up, all right? The first one here is WDC, that is Western Digital. WDC is the stock symbol here. The stock is up 62% in the last 6 months, up 91% in the last year. They're in the tech space. They make hard drives, which I don't know who, I mean, I say hard drives. Yes, they make hard drives, but like flash drives and stuff like that. I don't know who uses flash drives today. If you look at a site like Public, you'll see like that is their descriptor. It's just not something I use, okay? I don't know who uses flash drives, but apparently they're making a lot of money doing what they do, including hard drives and hardware. Obviously, they're doing quite well at that. But the company is in the tech space. We know tech companies are doing quite well, and the company is continuously growing. And they had a pretty good track record over the last year and some change, as have most things in the tech space. But it's in the $100 range, and I don't think it's going to be there for too much longer. So if you are somebody that wants to hop on it, your time is limited there. Next here is General Motors. General Motors, I think, is finally making that turnaround. Remember, about a year ago now, General Motors, Ford, and others were in the midst of a strike, as well as Hollywood at that point in time, and them stocks was not doing well. And honestly, for about 2 years or so, a lot of those stocks had not done well, which is why we have not talked about a lot of these companies since like 2021 or so. And General Motors is starting to turn a corner. If you are somebody who likes to look at charts and look at technical indicators, you will really see that GM definitely turned a corner just a few months ago. GM is up 37% in the last 6 months and up 33% in the last year. Now, I was curious as to why, right? Why would GM just magically make that turn? So the first thing I looked for was insider buyers, because I love that, right? I would love to see people who work at GM, particularly people on the board, start to buy shares. I didn't really see that. What I did see, though, is that they are starting to gain a lot of momentum in Asia, which is a very large market. Obviously, right? There are billions and billions of people in that market, and they're starting to make inroads there. Anytime that you can break into that market for sales, which has worked for a lot of different companies, that is going to help boost your sales. And I think they had double-digit sales growth, which is something that has helped the company for obvious reasons. So that is why the company is doing well and could continue to do so if they can be consistent in that space. This company is one that I have talked just a little about, just kind of sprinkled it here and there. I haven't talked too loudly about this company, but they have hit record highs for their stock price, and they have I'm starting to see this notification many times every single morning, it feels like. And that company is Walmart. Walmart stock symbol is WMT. They're up 30% in the last 6 months and up 35% in the last year at the time that we are doing this recording. Now, Walmart is a company that, again, it's not one that just keeps falling at the top of every list that we talk about here, but it is a company that we've talked about when we talk about inflation. It's a company we've talked about when we talk about defensive stocks. And every time that we talk about the economy, a lot of times I've talked about people who have traded down from Target and gone to a Walmart. I've talked about people who, may not shop at the more expensive stores or move from a Dollar Tree and maybe have to shop at a Walmart or something like that to get everything they need to. I've also talked about competition from an Amazon and how Walmart has increased their e-commerce, right? And how they have increased their subscription service. I also talked about, and this was a long rant a while back, around how Walmart has done pretty well with their subscription service and how they at one point had partnered with Paramount Plus, and how I complained about what the strategy was for Target back in 2021 or so, because Target didn't really have a great subscription service offering. Now, I just really fumbled a lot of those words together there. But remember I said back then, you might not remember, it was like 3 years ago, but I said how Amazon had Amazon Prime, and obviously they had 2-day free shipping and all that kind of stuff. And you had Walmart and you had Paramount Plus. What shows on Paramount Plus? Can't tell you. Right, but Walmart has its program, and they have a streaming service, and they have some value offerings there. Target has what? I can't name it. Right now, I'm sure they have something that can get you some services, right, and they can get you something that's shipped to your home pretty quickly in the same way Amazon and Walmart can. But is there a streaming service in there too? Because at this point, when everybody feels like they're spending so much money on everything, you want every possible advantage that you can, which is why you see Amazon spending so much money trying to get NFL games and all this other stuff. I'm on a rant, but you guys get the point. Walmart is doing quite well, and it is one of the best stocks under $100. I will continue. All right. Next here is Boston Scientific. I'm on a long round that, but you see how much I care about that particular topic. BSX is a stock symbol here. I'm not going to go into detail on this one too much because I ranted on the last one. It's up 38% in the last 6 months and up 46% in the last year. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I did feature that one in our healthcare video. So I did a whole top 5 in healthcare. I will say this though about just the healthcare sector. Every single year, and I've done this for maybe 10 years or so, but every single year I like to have at least 2 or 3 healthcare stocks in my portfolio because it just tends to be a very durable sector, right? Some of them pay good dividends, but regardless of what goes on, healthcare just tends to be very solid because regardless of what the economy does, you are going to need healthcare in some capacity. People always need medication. People always need surgery, right? Now, I don't want that to be the case, right? I wish no downsides to anybody, right? But the reality is the reality. I always need allergy medication, okay? That's the truth. If it wasn't for Flonase, I wouldn't be here. Okay, so you are going to need that regardless. So I'd like to have something in my portfolio that is healthcare related. Now, this next one here is one that I told y'all about. Now, I have seen at least 2 comments about this company the last time I told y'all about it, and they made money. I, too, have been making money on this company because I follow my own advice more often than not. That company is NRG. It is an energy company and is up 69% in the last 6 months and up 144% in the last year. Okay, up 144% in the last year. Now, if you are decent at math, it ain't gonna be up under $100 for too much longer at this particular rate. So if you are somebody who likes to do cover calls, which we are gonna talk about, you might wanna hop up on that if that is your prerogative, okay? Now, why is $100 even something you should shoot for? So first, let me tell you this. $100 is, don't make it a golden ceiling or a glass ceiling or whatever it is that you want to call it, okay? I'm not going to tell you, oh, there's a great stock out there and it's $200, don't buy it, okay? Do not do that. I'm not here to tell you because a stock is not a specific price that you can't buy it. You got fractional shares. If it's a good company, you buy it, okay? Do that. If it's a good company, add it to your portfolio if it fits in your budget and it fits in your strategy, Okay, the only reason why $100 is even a metric to for it to matter is for a covered call strategy for people who have a non-unlimited budget. Okay, the reason is because of covered calls. What a covered call strategy is where you have to buy lots of 100 shares at a time. So if you do the math here, right, for you to buy 100 shares, anything under 100 makes it easier for you to buy. Okay, so if something is, $100, you have to buy 100 of those. That's a few $1,000s at a time. Okay, so if something is $200, $300, $400, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars, which really eliminates a lot of people. Okay, so if you want to learn a whole bunch more about covered calls, I do an entire video breakdown of how it works, how much money I have made, and what stocks I have done it with, so you can see how that whole thing breaks down, including a screen share of exactly the profit and the loss and all that type of stuff. So if you want to know exactly how it works and use some of these stocks to do that, you want to check out this video right here.